Today, for the second time, we finally get to say goodbye to Itachi Uchiha in my review of Naruto Shippuden episode 339. A lot of stuff happened in this episode, and this was also one that had a lot of the feels. Yes, that special moment where you get that feeling inside and you start to realize you like this series a lot more than the action. You enjoy the characters, you like the interactions between them, and that's what made this a really special episode. That's not to say it wasn't full of that badassery that we all love from Naruto. In fact, that's what dominated the first half of the episode. You get to see Madara Uchiha is still fighting against the Kage, and it looks like he's actually being pushed back just a little bit because all of the Kage are combining all of their special abilities and firing them at once. And Inoki is also proving that he's definitely one of the most badass members of the group, as he's able to make them get all of their shit together, and they all start to combine their abilities and cross their streams a la Ghostbusters and start to take down Madara Uchiha. That is until he decides to reveal his most powerful Susanoo. This thing is awesome. I love the transformation it goes through because, honestly, in the manga, it just sort of appeared and there it was, but I love the build-up to it in the anime version, how they give you a lot of close-up shots of it, and then it slowly starts to transform, and then it explodes into this giant towering being, which has this, like, Tengu mask, and it makes it really distinctive from the other Susanoo. And this thing is badass. With one swing of its giant sword, it not only destroys half the landscape and blows all of the Kages away, but it manages to cut the top off of multiple mountains. This is definitely one of the coolest techniques in the series, so Madara ain't fucking around anymore. He's getting up in that Kage ass. When we finally go back to the scene with Itachi and Sasuke, we get to see that Itachi's getting ready to release the Edo Tensei technique, and Sasuke still wants to learn a little bit more about the truth, so Itachi decides to show him with his eye. And he uses his Sharingan abilities to show him a flashback, and we get to actually see Itachi talking to Shisui Uchiha, and we get to see how he remarked about the fact that Danzo took his eye out, and we get to see that he removes his eye, which doesn't really seem all that painful to him, and he gives that to Itachi. This scene is really important as you get to see how sort of underhanded Konoha can be, but at the same time, you can also see there are people like the third Hokage who are trying to look for a much more peaceful ultimatum to this, and this is why, of course, he's a much more redeemable character than a lot of the other ones we've seen, like Danzo. And that's the thing that's really fucked up. Danzo basically gives Itachi, like, this ultimatum. He's like, well, you can join the Uchiha coup d'etat and be killed, and that's pretty much it. Or you can kill your entire family, save for Sasuke, and save the village forever. One scene from the manga that I felt was really impactful, was handled really well here, and that was the scene where Itachi actually talks to his parents right before he kills them. And just like in the manga scene, it's very disturbing and heartbreaking because Itachi's father is still proud of him, even though the fact that his son is about to kill him, and even remarks on his kindness. And it just makes the scene all the more disturbing, and it also just shows how far Itachi was willing to go. But eventually, this is all leading up to the point where Itachi is just like, you know what, all this other stuff, screw it. It doesn't matter what you do. You can hate me forever. All you need to know, brah, is I will always love you. The scene ends the episode, and honestly, I thought it was handled really well. There were a lot of really interesting developments in this episode, and I thought it was a really good mixture of things, and I think this is what makes Naruto good, is the characters that have truly grown on you, and just that really cool action at the beginning. That Susanoo is one of the coolest things I've seen in the series, and I was sort of afraid that they weren't going to be able to do it any justice, but I thought that the scene was really cool, especially when he cut off the top of the mountains. That was just truly a highlight of the episode. But in the next one, we get to see that a lot of the other Edo Tensei are going to start disappearing, and hell, you even got to see a lot of them were starting to disappear in this episode, like Himimaro and Chiyo and Deidara, and of course all of the Jinchuriki, which is going to piss Toby right the hell off, but still, there's going to be a lot of really interesting developments coming in the next episodes, and man, this one was just good. I really enjoyed it. If I only had one complaint, it's probably that the animation was pretty spotty at times. There were times when it was really good, and then there were times when it was really bad. Just pretty expected with a weekly anime series like this. So I'm going to drop this episode down to an 8 out of 10. Not perfect, but still a pretty damn good episode that I think you should check out if you're following the series. That has a lot of really cool highlights in it. So check it out, guys. It was awesome. So I really liked this episode of Naruto, but what about you guys? Did you have any favorite moments? Did you not like this episode? You can let me know with your comments below. Remember, guys, before you leave, make sure and hit that like button. Give the video a thumbs up. Helps us out a lot. And, you know, the videos up top, check them out. Thumbs them up, too. Watch them. And if you guys have any suggestions from videos that you guys would like to see from us, you can let us know with your comments as well. So, I will see you next time, guys. Super Kami Guru 9000. Out.